I see I have some uninvited guests at the door. Maybe if I feed them this pasta, tomato, and rice dinner, they'll get full and go away. Well, if they'll eat pasta, I guess they'll eat anything. Vultures. You don't live here. Eat and get out of here. Gluttons didn't leave a drop. Here it is, the slightly updated 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander. From the front, not much difference from last year's Mitsubishi Outlander, but that's okay. Looked fine just the way it was anyway. Mitsubishi contacted me after I got this vehicle, wanted me to remind my viewers and readers that there are over 100 engineering improvements underneath the bodywork that you can't see. Okay, so I'm reminding you there are 100 engineering improvements under the body you can't see. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go over all that because I have to keep these videos and my newspaper articles short. So it's something technical you need to look up on their website if you're interested in buying this vehicle. In these videos, we cover the basic specifications and the driving results as well as fuel economy. So with that being said, we'll continue with these styling observations. Of course, this one from the rear. And one more. One of the first things I do when I get a vehicle, that 99.9% of the testers on YouTube don't do, is take the headlights out at night and see how they perform. We're going to go to that right now. This is a distance of 100 feet on low beams. More than adequate light. High beams. Plenty of light as well. Here we have the high beams on a building 300 feet away. Now low beams. Overall, excellent headlight performance. No complaints. Before we even begin this test, there are two things I do not want to find on a mid-size or full-size SUV. That's a 4-cylinder engine or a CVT automatic transmission. So when I looked under the hood and found out they sent me a 4-cylinder 166 horsepower engine connected to this CVT automatic transmission, I wasn't very happy. If you want to boost the performance of the CVT automatic, just pop it over in the sport mode. But what's fair is fair. You know, actually I've driven this for a couple of days, and this 4-cylinder engine does a pretty good job of pulling this 3,400 pounds. Lots of bottom end torque. Nice brakes, by the way. And this CVT automatic doesn't make a lot of the droning engine noises like other CVT gearboxes, so I'm not going to complain. Torquey engine, decent transmission, I can live with it. What I can't live with is a super wide rocker panel system here. Well, it's too wide, first of all, and secondly, it has a shelf that collects dirt and gets all over my pants. Why do manufacturers do this? Don't know. Earlier I told you about the shelf down here that collects mud and dirt. Well, here's a perfect example right here. Just waiting for my pants. As you can see. But getting back to the engine, if you don't like a 4-cylinder, Mitsubishi does offer a V6 3-liter connected to a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission. This is a 2-wheel drive version driven by the front wheels. Mitsubishi does offer all-wheel drive for those who need 4-wheel drive traction. Surprisingly, all-wheel drive is available with this small 4-cylinder engine, but that's a lot of drag for a small power plant like this. Last I heard, the all-wheel drive is also available with the bigger V6, which would be a better choice for you to pull all that extra weight in running gear. This engine is rated at 25 mpg in the city and 31 on the highway. I only got about 70 miles on this rig. I'm getting around 22 in city driving. As we move along, we'll be testing the gas mileage daily and get back with you. Time to look at the interior, and there's one pet peeve I have on motor vehicles, you might have too. That's when a car maker charges you for leather seats that look and smell like plastic. Not a problem here. These are very nice seats, and the smell of this leather is about as good as anything I've seen off a fancy European car. Definitely worth the extra cost. Amazingly, they sell this as a 7-passenger with this third row seating, but I'm not sure what's going to fit in this back third row seat. Your choice, fold the seats up for a couple dwarfs or fold them down for some decent storage. There is a spare tire, but no, it's not under here. It's way under here. We're going to be sliding all over a wet, muddy road or cement. But it's nice to have one anyway. The materials and workmanship, well, nothing fancy, but definitely of good quality and sturdy enough. We get a nice gauge cluster with useful information. I'd rather see some knobs on this climate control system. We don't get that, but then again, it's simple enough to use, so I'm not going to complain. Simple to use navigation stereo system. Thumbs up. Decent sized glove box. Small console. There is one flaw with the interior design. It concerns the sun visors, which do fold down and over to the right, but they don't slide. So we have this big gap here where the sun can come in and bake your face. It amazes me that there are car companies making vehicles for a million years and they can't get this right. It's inexcusable. I hope you're listening, Mitsubishi. I've also noticed how the dash reflects in the windshield on certain times of the day. Here, you can see the air vents. Over here, more air vents. Not a major thing, it's just annoying. Since this Mitsubishi is based on a car platform, it has car platform handling ability. Takes corners quite well, actually. Even on a slick, wet road. It's interesting, I found this vehicle to be rather stiff on the pavement, but out here on this rough gravel and dirt road with lots of ripples, it's a bit smoother than I expected. Go figure. This Mitsubishi is capable of going off pavement, even more so if you order the optional all-wheel drive for better traction in the sand. Just keep in mind, this is not a heavy-duty off-road vehicle like a Jeep Wrangler, so it's a good idea to tread lightly. If you're looking for a daily driver that can occasionally be used for recreation, this Mitsubishi does quite well at that. Let's see if we can get stuck. Guess not. Excuse me, fella, could you direct me to the nearest bar? You're not supposed to be on this road when it's raining. Maybe the Mitsubishi and I will not get out alive. You're watching this video, most likely to see what the fuel consumption figures are in the real world. We're finishing up a highway trip. We're going to give you all the figures. In city driving, we went between 19 to 21 miles per gallon. We reset the computer for a highway trip doing 75 miles per hour plus 26.4. I'm sure if you drop to 55 to 60 mile per hour cruising, you might reach the 31 mpg advertised. But from my standpoint, around 26 to 27, constant 75 miles per hour is about what you should expect. Not bad, really. In Japan, Mitsubishi is a very large company, been making stuff as far back as World War II. Over here in the States, they're a bit smaller, selling about 6,000 to 8,000 vehicles a month. That could be an advantage to you, because if you want to own a vehicle where you're not going to see yourself coming and going, you buy one of these, you'll probably be the only person on the block that has one. In some cities, probably the only person that has one in the whole town. So if you're looking for an SUV that offers something different, or a smaller 4-cylinder SUV that offers 3-row seating, this Mitsubishi Outlander is definitely worth looking at.